This is TVA by Jenna, a podcast about real human issues brought to you by DarkSpaces.com.
This is TVA My Dinner. My name is Sean. I'm here with Brooks and Andrew and Lynn.
Hey, everybody. Shang-Chi, you've seen that, right, Lynn?
I loved Shang-Chi.
Yay, we've all seen something.
I haven't seen it.
Was good. Shang-Chi was a lot of fun.
Never watched it.
Yeah, I've not.
Really?
I've never heard of it.
No,
You
I
watched
saw
it.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Shang-Chi, though, the thing I didn't like, because I'm a nitpicker, and here I am. Everyone hates me for this.
What's the commentary show?
Bring it.
You're in it.
The ending, they always go too big. So they
Yeah.
have these giant CG dragons, and they're like riding on them, and it didn't feel real. It didn't feel based in reality like the rest of the movie did.
Yeah,
And
especially
they-
because it's so much fun before that, because they're just
Yeah.
doing martial arts.
And it's
Like,
awesome.
and
And then
it's
they
all
have
about
to,
the martial
and then
arts.
when they're on the dragon, they're
Yeah.
not doing martial arts anymore. They're just like,
Well, the thing was, there was like two whole armies there for no reason.
yeah.
I also
Like,
didn't
they
feel
were
like
like,
the
okay, the
CGI was that
The
strong.
whole thing is going to be this
No,
one
the
army's going
CGI
to come
was
in and
not
take over
strong.
this little place, and
That
then
bothered me. Like,
big dragon, and it's really about.
it doesn't feel real when they're like riding on it. It's flying like
Yeah.
this, and they're not like bending with it. They're just straight on it the whole time.
Yeah, it's like Attack of the Clones when he's trying to ride that
It's like
thing.
It's like Game of Thrones. Yeah, like but I mean that. Yeah, kind of. I guess they couldn't help themselves because they already had this really cool like Chinese world, like kind of all
They
these
can show
mythological
the
creatures
dragon,
and stuff.
but it didn't have
I
to
was
be a
like,
big battle.
The
but that
mythological
dragon's
world.
cool. I like the dragon.
I saw
But
a
yeah,
really interesting. If you watch a channel called Accented Cinema, and he focuses on Chinese American specifically, and representation in movies and stuff. And he was talking about Shang-Chi, and I found it interesting. He was saying, I was a little disappointed in it because I'm Chinese American, and Shang-Chi is Chinese American, and that's a cross section that you don't see represented very much, but it doesn't take very long in the movie before Shang-Chi goes to China, and then it's this ancient Chinese mythology is the aesthetic of the rest of the film. And maybe, that's to really appeal to the Chinese market, but then you don't get as much representation for the Chinese
I'm not
American
even sure
experience.
it got released in China, did it? Wasn't there some controversy about they didn't like the actor because he's Canadian or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
I also didn't like his powers when he got the rings. It did not explain to me how he got them. They
What do you
came
mean?
to him.
Yeah, because
Those
he's his dad. Yeah.
But how can he uses them really
And
expertly?
then he instantly
all of a sudden.
knows how to use them.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
there's
the
no
thing
learning
for
curve
movies
at
all
all.
the
I mean,
time.
That's
on, how
worse
does
than
Captain
Captain
America
Marvel.
work?
Captain Marvel's
But
like, she
how
just
does-
knows.
Mary
I mean,
Sue.
The
I call
same
Mary
as
Sue on Shang-Chi.
all of these movies are the same for me. That movie had the spiritual ending when his dad died.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, I
and
like
that's like
his
all
dad.
these Marvel movies. They work up, they have this great emotional moment, and then there's a big fight. That's just the
Yeah, and then
the
it's
pretty
punch
stuff
up.
at the end. But that doesn't count to me towards the movie and the emotional impact of the movie. That's
Yeah.
just like some fluff on top. For me, that bit up to the confrontation with his dad and the dad acknowledging that he'd done the wrong
Yeah.
thing, blah, blah. That was the
I
movie.
really
Well,
like
in that-
dad.
well,
I'll give you that.
and I feel like that was a lot of Marvels.
Well, in
I
that
feel the
fight,
same way on that stuff. The rest is just popcorn.
but that stuff's beautiful because in that fight, because the dad recognizes that he's doing the mom's move too. Like the whole point, the dad's just like heartbroken that he doesn't have this wife anymore. But when he's fighting and when he actually starts winning, he sees it goes back to that dance they're doing. He's like, all the actors there. It's just great. It's actually really touching and stuff. You're like, oh. And then at the end, he actually does give the rings to him too. He sort of sacrifices himself for the so it's all like, it's a great thing. You're right. And then it's just gets goofy after that. But
It did. The Black Panther and this one are both awesome, and that Greg messaged us, guys. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, he only just got home, so that's why it was.
Oh, but
Sorry if you can hear my cat snoring.
Black Panther and Shang-Chi I loved because the bad guys had some complexity to them. They weren't just
Right.
bad. They had like good reasons to be bad, if that makes any sense.
And
that
they
makes
both
it so
kind
much
of
more compelling.
relatable, at least. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
they both got defeated and they both went out on their own terms too. Though.
Yeah,
Both of
and
them,
it's just so.
Yeah.
I thought they were both really good for that. I did, one thing in the comics, I wasn't a big reader of the Master of Kung Fu either, but I didn't like I thought it was such a neat idea. In the comics, he has 10 rings on, a ring on each fingers, and each one had a different power. And that's like Lord of the Rings stuff.
Well, that's probably
neat.
too.
But these are just armbands that just generically do whatever you want them to do.
Yeah. They didn't.
It's just not as cool. It's like, what can they do? I don't know.
Well,
whatever.
I
I
do
just
like
point
the-
them and stuff happens.
I do like the
Like, I don't know what they do.
Pew 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 pew.
Well, I do like the idea that they're like alien and they don't know where they're from. That's a cool.
Yeah,
thing at
that's
the end.
fine. But I
Does
just
it play celestial?
Yeah, it's like everything's celestial.
It's Eternals now. We're in the Eternals.
Well, like
phase.
whenever they want to do something, they're like, well, this is just another dimension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiverse.
It's probably
It's like, oh, where's this place? This is just other
Um,
place where there's magic and stuff, but it's like not in this place. So it doesn't mess with the rest of the Marvel stuff. It's just another pocket dimension with cool stuff.
and this
and
guy's
dragon
been roaming
monsters that I
around
want.
for 2,000 years.
They're gonna have to do
Avengers
some-
or Doctor Strange. None of them noticed.
Again, I think
I just did it to do crimes. So,
we talked about how it's easy for them to bring Fantastic Four in because they could say they got lost in the 60s, and it's like
Yeah.
period. And
I would love that.
they show up now. They're going to have to do some multiversey things for X-Men, though, in a weird way, because how are they going to do, like, they can't just go, they've always been here, too. It's like, no, bullshit.
I'm
That's like-
thinking that the multiverse of Madness.
That's what
that
I mean,
movie's
though.
going to somehow bridge.
It's like a
universes to where
reverse
mutants
House of
do
M kind of
exist.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Where it's just going to bridge
But
there
different
be
realities.
mutants. Yeah.
To where this used to be our reality, but now we're bridged to
Right.
another one.
And
where
now
mutants
that's going to
were
be
in.
like the new Snap, but it's like, well, since the merge or something, like, there's
I
weird
mean,
thing.
I don't know how
There's
else
so
to
much
do it.
weird stuff in that universe. I think they could just say it, and it wouldn't matter. They could just say, and then there's always been mutants. Call
Yeah,
me
but they've
wrong.
already done that a few times now. It's like, it seems like it's like stretching.
Did I already tell you what I thought they should have done? I think I did in an earlier thing. You know how Wanda and WandaVision, did you see WandaVision, Lynn?
Yes.
You know how
Yes,
she like
WandaVision.
expands the shield out and it goes over like Monica Rambeau and gives her powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if because she's super strong, if she freaked out and it went all around the world
And she
for
made
just an
mutants.
instant.
Yeah,
and
but
it
I don't want
mutated
this to be
people.
day zero of mutants.
Reverse
I want
House of M.
a universe where
Well, the mutants,
have
the
already-
cool thing is with that story is like Xavier and them back in the 60s and all that.
Well,
that stuff is cool part of the.
Maybe she could have launched it backwards in time.
Maybe.
Like did a time shift and
Well, I mean, that might be where,
retroactively.
well,
I
that's
think
might
there
be
could
where
have
you get all
been
that
mutants and
Kang
we
stuff.
just didn't notice. Like,
Yeah,
I think
Kang
it
maybe.
could
Maybe
have been-
Kang will somehow go back and change the past, and now mutants
He
are.
already has though, because that brings the branches already from the beginning. So Kang
Yeah,
always
Loki
existed.
broke the universe.
So
Yeah.
that's possible.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in Multiverse of Madness, right? Kang.
No, Kang's going to
But
be
it's-
in Ant-Man.
What is hilarious
it could
to
be
me
in- but
are the
he's
deep
supposed to-
teases that they have done to this multiverse, because they're like, it's going to be we're going to have a multiverse. So like, okay, so WandaVision comes along and she does this thing that breaks reality, and it's like, okay, so Wanda's business with the Darkhold that creates the multiverse,
Like,
right?
no, that's not
No.
the multiverse.
No, and then we're going to do this Spider-Man, and they do a spell, and that's create. No, then so Doctor Strange is in the multiverse of madness. Is this where it's going to happen? like Loki broke time and space. Was
Well,
that
if you
the
think about
multiverse?
it, I mean,
no. Like, what's happening? Every
Yeah.
movie, every one of these has the same story, and none of them actually.
Well, but none of them can know what Loki
at
did
large.
because the problem with what Loki what's her name? Well, not Loki, Sylvie did, is that when she made that change, it changed it since the beginning of time. So there's always been a multiverse. So there's no change that.
Yeah, and they were outside of time when that happened.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though. But like a multiverse
That's
is
my
now from the
favorite sentence.
beginning.
As a retcon. Well, we were outside of time when that happened.
We've always had a
Like,
multiverse. Well, they're the
that's-
end of time.
When they reboot the X-Men, that should be in the beginning, outside of time, mutants happened. Then they just start.
It's funny thinking about Fantastic Four. Did anyone watch a little Anna Kendrick movie called Stowaway?
No.
I don't think so.
Anna Kendrick in space, which is
Oh yeah, I did
Oh.
see
my favorite
that.
things.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch
and they
that.
got a
As a
stowaway
Netflix.
passenger. I was watching it, and they get hit by cosmic rays, and I'm like, well, this is what would actually happen when you get hit by cosmic rays. She doesn't get
They would
superpowers.
die.
I can
They
tell
all
you
get
that.
cancer and die.
Just
or something.
ruins all of our
It
plankton,
just melts your face. Watch Chernobyl.
Yeah.
lichen, or
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
it is
I
that
like
we're
Stowaway
growing.
anyway. That was a really good movie.
It was pretty good. It's so
So-
funny.
Very
These
little.
movies come with such frequency. I watch them and forget them.
I feel like in some of these sci-fi things, sometimes they're good. They're like hit or miss. I watched the last season of Lost in Space. Was fun. That's a good show overall.
I enjoyed it. That is a good show.
I rewatched them all again. So I was like, man, I didn't give us enough. That's the problem with Netflix. I'm also doing that with Ozark now because the new season's about to come out. Like these shows you watch and you're like, I like that show. It's really great. But you watched it in like 4 days and it's like, and you just don't talk about it. And we don't talk about it and you move on. But then you go back to, man, this is a really like the Lost in Space, the production value and like the cinematography.
It's great. The writing and everything. I really enjoyed
super
that
awesome.
Show.
Like they have really awesome. You never
they
watched
have the
it?
opposite problem too, because the other side of that is
See, it's a good
like Cowboy Bebop came and we watched like the first episode and we're like, this is pretty good. And then we didn't watch every episode. We but
then it got
like
canceled.
2 weeks later, Netflix is like, there's no more Cowboy Bebop that's canceled already. It's like, give us a minute. There's a lot of TV right now.
Like, God, dude.
We're gonna watch them.
But I was gonna
You have to feverishly watch everything the minute it comes up, and then it'll immediately start playing some other thing you didn't want to see the second. I had so much anxiety watching Netflix because of the window of time they give you to be able to just watch the fucking credits of something before it just starts playing another thing.
Yeah.
They're
like,
really
I just
fast.
want to hear this song, man.
Yeah, they go really fast.
It's freaking me out.
Like this
I
one
like
has an
HBO.
end credit scene.
I
Stop
watch
it.
something on HBO, it plays the end and stops, and that's it. That's all that happens.